Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heroic Empath, and I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. And if you're a sensitive hearted or a tender heart, and you just want, you're just all love and light and things like that, and you don't think there's any bad stuff in the world, and there you don't got time or room for any kind of negativity in your life and stuff like that. Today probably isn't the day that you watch my live, because I'm about to go off in a Heyoka kind of way, and it ain't for the weak-hearted. Okay, so. God bless you, little tender hearts. There's a place for everybody, unless you want to, especially if you're feeling like you might get offended and you're extra sensitive today. Today's probably not the day to watch my video. Ready, set, here it goes. The hypocrisy among us. The hypocrisy among us. See, I always try to be a rule follower. I never want to hurt nobody, and I just don't want the bad karma, frankly. So I'm pretty mindful about what I do and how I treat people, and I think the majority of the percentage of the population of the planet is in alignment with that belief, while the rest are fucking control freaks, man. I walk into the store today. Now it's walk this way. When are they gonna say? Oh, they already say talk this way, walk this way. Lines go this way, and and that's why I only did 6 years in the Air Force, because of the fucking principle of who's in charge and how they feel that day. See, I was stationed off Air Force Base 2000, 2006. I was there at 9/11. We worked on the flight line. This one year, people are like, oh man, the military, man, they got it so rough. They got it so rough. Do they? Do they have it rough? Yeah, some, because we have different laws. You have civilian law, and then you have military law. But we're one race, but different laws. See, that's what control freaks do. They just keep making up rules, more and more and more rules. But the funny thing is what you're going to find out is they don't follow them themselves. That's where people are going to be like, that's not fair, And I had an example of that at Walmart today. Yeah, I was leaving, got my few little purchases, and I was leaving, and a car came up to a stop sign, and he didn't stop all the way, and he went in through it, and he turned off, and he went on, right? Frickin' pig comes right up, resource hog, that's what I call them, because they hog all the resources, while the homeless people just run the street. Frickin' pig comes up right up to the stop sign, doesn't even try to stop, he just went right through the stop sign. He pulls the guy over, the guy stops, I pull up alongside of him on my way out, I'm like, I roll down my window, I'm like, you fucking hypocrite! You did the same thing, you're gonna give him a ticket, you did the same fucking thing, you fat fucking pig! Because that's what happened. See, when I was little, they were in shape. They were scary and in shape. You were intimidated by police, you just did what they did. Now, now the word's out. When I was in the Air Force, they're the second lowest test scores, but they're obedient, they do what they're told, well, for the most part. But their ignorance got the dorms that I got to live in, brand new, burnt down, because they, you just let them do whatever they want, and then they act like fools, and then, but that's okay. There's no consequences to be had. Oh man, I wish I would have just rapid fire. I had my camera too. I should just snap, 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 snap. But the thing of it is, in the Bros Club, nothing will ever happen. There's no consequence of that, because people that enforce the rules don't follow them. And we're going to see that so much in the next 4 months. So much. And people are going to be pissed, and they're not going to put up with it. Yeah. Yeah, because, I decided I was freaking, I'm not going out for 4 days, or 3 days, 4 days, or whatever. The world ain't worth living in, and there ain't nobody worth hanging out with in this stupid freaking city anyway, They're all low vibey. I mean, freaking making it mandatory for people to wear masks? That's stupid. Where is the freedom in that? Why did I even enlist in the Air Force? So yeah, when I was in the Air Force, this is why, if you want to know why I'm a little, I don't know, people are like, she hates fat people or whatever, obese. No, that's not it. See, when I was in the Air Force, a bunch of really old fat guys made me go to the gym. They said I was overweight. That's what they do. They always make an example out of the good examples. They said I was overweight, and they made me go to the gym. They made me. They held my pay. They took my rank. They took my promotions. If any position where someone says somebody puts themselves better and then designates who can do what, there's egos that are always going to get in the way, and that's where the world is at now today. These egos are out of control. But you know what, man? You know, so I say, let's make all the police officers and first responders and things like that, because we're really worried about health now, right? Everybody's all worried about health. That's why everybody's buying into all this bullshit. I'm about to yell at the neighbors. Just to ask them when. How long do I have to tolerate their noise? Because I have things that I would like to do too. Yeah, I'd like to get stuff done without interruptions, you know, because it's cooperation. But so people really need to start soothing themselves and getting out and getting exercise, you know. And the shame is all yours. I used to have shame. I used to be fat. I used to have so much shame when I figured nobody would love me. Who wants to look at me? You know, all this stuff, you know, all that stuff. But you know what I did? I took the fucking food spoon out of my mouth. I put it down and I went out and I started walking. And I'm seeing more and more people out and walking, and I just praise them. I praise them. I praise them for taking care of your own soul sack and for being proactive in your own life, because it's your life. I think maybe 120 people have died in Oregon in the last 3 months. You know, whether they did or they just write it on the piece of paper if they died, you know. But out of 4.5 million, that's not bad, you know, so. But the control freaks, when they feel fear, when egomaniacs feel fearful, when they get scared, they're like rats in a corner. They just want to control everything more. So we're going to see more stupid rules, you know. So Oregon, no more single waste plastic bags, right? But now we got single waste rubber gloves and single waste plastic. It's just changed, and now they're used back to the sacks again. You can't use your own. So it's just like all these rules. Let me know which ones do I follow, and could you tell me when they change? Because it's oh so hard to keep track of. I don't go by man's rules anyway. I go by universal law. You just treat people decent. You just treat people decent. I don't, yeah, and I can be accused of that too. Is it decent to call people freaking names and stuff like that? Well, what the fuck do I care? They don't put the effort into themselves. What am I gonna, what do I care? I don't put effort into people anymore that don't put in effort into themselves. You know, I'm not gonna waste my time anymore. You know, people don't believe in energy and karma and all that. That's cool. That's cool. Stay on your 3D earth. But the world is splitting. And it is raising vibration, and there's going to be a lot of people that low vibrational people aren't going to see anymore, because you're going to stay on your 3D earth while other people rise. You know? That's why I got out of the Air Force, because of the freaking control freaks. And their mismanagement, misappropriations of funds. I was in maintenance. We could never get parts. We couldn't get freaking oil filters. We couldn't get, I remember it was always a hassle to get freaking oil filters. They're like, what, $8? But in the military, they said they're like 30. You know, it's just like the hospital. That's why everything is so expensive, is because they project, they make up numbers. That's what reindeer games do, is they make shit up. You know, I read an article today, some guy running for from some city official here, and he's like, they're projecting, in the next year, 60,000 people are going to move to Salem, Oregon. Well, I bet 80,000 will leave, so you'll be all right. Some one of them. You know, there's only 167,000 people that live in this city. You know, so you projecting, then what they do is they're like, well, we need money to support the number of people that are coming in. But it's a made-up number. But they allocate funds, see? They allocate funds. That's what they've always done, is allocate funds. More money than God. They're going to start getting kickbacks and help from the government. Right. But they're still laying off people. Yeah. You guys ready for the revolution? It's gonna, hopefully it's a peaceful one, but I don't know, there's a whole lot of dumb people that have to have their guns. Not everybody with a gun is dumb, I'm just saying there's a whole lot of ignorant people that aren't properly trained. Because we see it every day, and, you know, it's their behavior that supports me and verifies what I say is true, not me saying it. I know how to handle a gun. I know you don't put your finger on a trigger unless you're gonna freaking do something, you know? And that's why I don't like guns. I don't like them. I don't. No, I'm not a mental midget. I don't live in fear all the time, 100%. Nope. And that's where we're going. I want a peaceful Earth, man. I want an Earth where there's enough for everybody. So I want all these freaking control hogs. You know, who's the resource hog? Who is the resource hog? You know, the poor, you know, people living on the street that just want like a, you know, help getting into an apartment. And what would it really cost to do that? You know, and the freaking cop that got out of that, you know, that $50,000, because they all get SUVs, you know, because they work so hard. No, they don't. If he worked that hard, he would not been as overweight as he was. I am legitimately concerned for his health and well-being. It's starting to get hot. Old boy might just have a heart attack and die. You won't have to worry about no freaking mask. Huh, homeboy? Who's the resource hogs? 35 people were arrested in New York for not practicing distancing. 5 white, 25 black. They still have 2 different parks in the southern states. But these are the, see, there's the letter of the law and the spirit of the law, and these are the things. The spirit of the law is just like the law is how, or the letter of the law is how it is supposed to be, and then the spirit is how it is intended for the recipient, right? But when you have an ego and you're a control freak, then that interpretation gets skewed. You know, and every time you go to the store, well, I was here 2 days ago and I could use my own sax, and now I can't use it. So it's just all, and that's the stuff that's going to freaking annoy people, because it's just like, they just want to get through life. And when people keep putting up roadblocks to make it more and more difficult to get through life, you know, this ain't my sickness. The sickness is for people that are already sick, that are already have a physical ailment. I'm not one of them, okay? Because I got off the couch, and I went out, and I did all, you know, when the fat guys told me that I had to go, I was there every morning. I didn't see them there. I didn't see them there with me, standing in line, waiting for the door to open up at 5 o'clock every morning for months. I'm talking like 8-9 months I did that. 5 days a week I'd run on that cross trainer for level 10, because that's the kind of personality I have. Because if you're gonna put me through the ringer and make me go through crap, I'm gonna do what I have to do to get off your imposed little freaking crap. I'll just be done with you. When I left West Corp, that place is a freaking pigsty in itself, man. Misogyny in that every department, you know, that's a waste of money in itself. When I worked it there, I put in my 2 weeks, and everyone, I'd watch a lot of turnover there in the IT department. People just, you know, they put in their 2 weeks and they wouldn't do anything anymore. That's not my personality. My character is, I'm gonna close 50 tickets a week, 100 tickets. I'm gonna close 100 tickets for my last day. I missed it by 4. I closed like 98, 96. I missed it by 4, so I didn't reach my goal. But you know what? That's the thing, is when I leave, I'll go. But at some point, whether you like me or not, people figure out when I've been in their life, they're like, man, I wish I could Marge ask that, but you know what? I was such an ego dick, she probably didn't want to know me anymore, huh? Yeah. People don't want to deal with ego. I know that because I have one, and I've had to make it small, because I used to let it run the show. And that's not conducive for a serene life. It's not. It's not. I'm good. I'm just fired up. I'm just tired of resource. And, you know, and it's like, I'm the bad guy. It's like, there's fat first responders and police and stuff everywhere that drive around $40,000-$50,000 vehicles, while there's home, and, you know, new cars and new uniforms, and they don't have to, like when I was in the Air Force, I didn't pay for nothing. You get allowance for, you get your base pay, and then you get allowance for rent and housing. Then you get allowance for your uniforms. Then you get food allowance. And how many people are in the military? How many people in the world? How come? And the military budget is bigger than the budget that people get in local cities and states. So stop creating made up military conflicts to make old people richer. Because everybody's getting more sensitive. That's how the meek is going to inherit the earth. Everybody's all sensitive, regardless of what they're eating or they're drinking. Everybody's getting all twitchy, you know. Everybody's getting all. Oh, here we go with the saw. About to yell it, and you know, and people are like, age discrimination, weight discrimination. No, the discrimination isn't me. I'm just speaking in terms. As a noun. As a descriptor, you have police, and then you have really freaking grossly obese police that are freaking resource hogs, and they should all be fired. Yeah. Weight standards. They did it to me. They did it to me. Why can't we do it to the rest of the world? Because it's not fair. Oh, is it not fair? Is it mean? Is it mean you're not supposed to tell people that, you know, that eat their feelings, that they, you know, why don't they just talk about their feelings? What is the responsibility? You know, what, this whole time is about personal accountability, about taking responsibility for yourself and making your soul sack as pure as you can to live the best version of your life, you know. And I just look around, I'm like, nope, you don't care about you. Nope, you don't care about you. You know why Aspies don't look at people in the eye? Because there's so many people that are void of spirit. So what's the point? There's nobody in there anyway. There's nobody in there. Because people of the heart space that I'm looking for help other people. They don't hinder. And the world is full of so many, all I see, mass, fearful person. I'm a fearful person. I'm a fearful, I do what I told. I'm a sheep. I'm a sheep. I'm a fearful person. I'm a fearful person. Well, why don't you become a healthy person? I'm fucking so fed up, sick and tired, because I had to deal with all my fears and my pains and woes, and I'm tired of having to deal with other society as a collective, their woes. I'm tired of it. If you're afraid of stuff, deal with your own fear. It's not society's responsibility to make you feel okay. It was your parents, and if they didn't, well, then they failed. You know? And now you're an adult, so take responsibility for yourself. Learn to soothe yourself. Go fucking meditate for an hour. Just lay there. If your mind races, at least you're laying there still for an hour. No, I can't do that. I don't have time. What else? It's discipline. People aren't disciplined. If they don't have the discipline to put this down, a police officer, am I going to feel safe encountering one? Thinking that they're not going to have a discipline to keep this in the holster because their ego, because their kids don't listen to them, and their wife isn't attracted to them anymore, and they haven't had sex in months and months, and well, maybe, it's like, be a fucking man. You know? I said, somebody made a comment about something I said earlier, and I was just like, you know what? The fact that the military spends $11 million on enhancement drugs, boner pills, $11 million. Who's the resource hog? Is it the people that need a little bit of extra help, that haven't had a lot of, support and, good tidings in life, and people just haven't really been nice to them in life because they look a certain way, or because they were born into a certain family that isn't held in as high a regard as people with freaking, that are bought, everything is bought and paid for them, I'm good with what there's so many different timelines in which the world can end up. There's so many different timelines. We could have the Wall-E timeline, where there's just, humans are floating around in spaceship, just freaking burn, 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 burn. Gee, I wish I would have walked more. Like Wall-E, like Terminator 2, all those timelines are possible. The only thing that's going to put it on its certain timeline is when more people start thinking, gee, I wonder what it'd like to live on a peaceful earth where there's enough for everybody. If more people start thinking like that and meditating and stop being so fucking selfish and egotistical, and I need a Tesla, and I needed this, and I need a big house, I need 4 big houses, and I need to go to all these football games, and I need all this entertainment because I'm so important. Don't you know how important I am, that I need to be entertained and coddled and doted over? Anybody that acts like that, you ain't a person to me. You ain't a person. Oh, wait, let me correct myself. You are a person. You are so a person that you have no spirit. Because there is no spirit in that kind of behavior. Welcome to the world of accountability, folks. People are going to have to start, because their stuff is going to be more and more people are going to be put on blast. They're going to be showing their asses. People are going to uncover stuff, because the truth has a vibration, and that vibration, now's the time, is the planets are playing their strings up with their energy. Deal with your childhood crap. Deal with your crap. Deal with your crap so you can get okay, so you can stop treating other people like crap. Deal with your stuff. Deal with it. Stop ignoring it. if freaking some creep freaking did things to you when you were a little kid, and now, now every time you go to have intimacy, all you can think about it, you think about it. Change your mind, change your tape, change your script. People choose what they think about. Well, I like to believe I choose. I look around and just like, I'm just doing what I'm told. I'm just doing what I'm told. I'm just doing what I'm told. You should fucking go jump off the cliff. Yeah, just go do that. Just fucking people have no sense, man. I don't do things that people tell me if it feels wrong. If people are just making up rules just to make up rules, dude, there is nothing about keeping nothing that these practices are doing to keep people from not getting sick. It's a big... I kind of knew, I kind of figured this was happening because there was one year we had exercises on base every month for that whole year. Now, when you're in the Air Force, they give you 30 days leave. That's 30 days vacation. It kind of seems like it's a good deal, right? Except, I don't know, I did this thing where I canceled all the hours that, like, 2080 is how many hours that you work if you work 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. It's 2080 is what, and I did this thing for every 12-hour shift. I'd take off 4 hours, I'd take off 4 hours of vacation because you don't get paid overtime, right? So you work so much extra. Yeah, they give you 30 days, but you work so much extra than that 2080, right? So, and it was such a hassle. I was going to college at the time, too. I was taking classes at the time, too. So it was such a hassle because you had to walk all the way around the building because you had your one entry point because you're practicing, you're playing Chem Warfare. Only we have mock gear. People, if they make it, I'll just go out in my mask. I'll just go out in my gas mask. Be like, get the fuck away from me. I'm doing this because you guys are all idiots. Yeah. It's just people don't have any sense. They just do what they're told. They just do what they're told. Anyway, so we worked 11 days, I'd say, so it's 5, 10, 11, 12, so 12 days straight every month for a year, 12-hour shifts, okay, and then you had to go all the way around to go into the one entrance, unless, depending on who's in charge, because you had some sergeants, it'll be like, F it, I'm not walking all the way around, because it's all like that. Who's in charge and how they feel about that. Now the rules are you gotta walk all the way around, but this guy doesn't want to. So if you walk in with him, he'll let you in too. Yeah. Who's in charge and what they are? People starting to get it? Are you starting to get it? Are you starting to get that it's not okay to comply with requests of things that people want you to do that aren't willing to do themselves? Are people getting that yet? I really hope they do, because, I wonder how many people got on the trains in Germany because they were promised something better, Okay, I'll just get on the train. We'll go Auschwitz, okay, train ride. There's fanatics in every, that's why I don't like people that are so excited about any one thing. Keep it even keel, man. Keep it even keel. Because it's just, when anybody's so excited about things that are materialistic and of this earth, then I see how they're void in spirit. Everywhere I look around, void in spirit. But it's changing because more people are coming into realizing. Just because things are the way, or I talk about things as I see them as they are, just because I see them as they are like this, doesn't mean they're changing. Doesn't mean that all this frustration isn't, there's a white butterfly, isn't happening to make people so annoyed that they're gonna just be like, no, we want the world this way, and the control freaks are like, well, we're getting too old and too tired, and the cops are getting all too freaking, have let themselves go to the point that, what are they? Yeah. Anyway. It's going to be a wild summer. It's going to be a wild summer. I'm staying home tomorrow because it's going to be hot. And I'm already heated today. Yeah, the Schumann resonance. I used to watch Suspicious Observers in the morning, and there's a Paul Butler. He does good stuff at night. He likes to talk about the Schumann resonance. Uh, well, I kind of like to hit on that because data, like in computers, um, how information is travels through the wires. Well, those impulses travel through us too, and and the more data you collect, it's like a bird. You eat your seed, you get the energy, and you can fly. You eat more seed, you get more energy, and you fly higher, and you look down, you see more data. This sun is driving me crazy. That's better. So the more input you put in, whether it's wrong input, because somebody tells you stuff, you can feel if it's right for you or not, if it's true for you or not. So if it's not true, freaking junk data. True for you, junk data. Don't even take it into your energy field. Don't even like get mad at the prospect of that reality being actually true. Just don't make it real. I got through all my fear, man. I worked so hard to get through my fears and my insecurities. I used to be afraid of everything. I would keep myself at night because I live freaking 60 miles south from Mount Shasta, and I had dreams and visions of it erupting, probably because I witnessed it in a previous incarnation in Atlantis or something. And so I had these because as when we're kids, we have these fears because they're so fresh in our memory bank because we were closer to our last incarnation. But it's the controllers that say, no, that's not how life is. That's not how things work. There's no such thing as incarnation. Once you die, you're worm food. That's it. Well, they don't even believe that. That's the funny thing. Is the hypocrisy is look at the people that try to get you to not look at something. Adamant about it. Just absolutely, that's not the reality, the adamancy of it. And then look at some of these stars that are coming out for being creeps. They are some of the ones that I just verifies what I've always known. I knew freaking Bill Cosby was a pervert scumbag when I was 2 years old. I'd walk up to the TV, point, and he has bad eyes. Bad eyes. That's what I'd say. People in the grocery store, bad eyes. Bad eyes. Yeah. Now I'm 46, and I've been practicing looking for good eyes my whole life. Isn't it so funny how those are so have these little lines from smiling in their lives? Because psychopaths don't have feelings. They don't have emotions. They look at other people and watch people and then act like other people in the situations that they're in. They don't feel shit. It's just their incarnation. It's just their lessons to learn. I know I've been a cretin in my past. I was probably a Viking, probably raped, pillaged, did the whole thing. That's probably why when I was a little baby I had the things happen to me, because I did terrible things, and now I have to live as a decent person. You don't think I don't know that it's bad karma to freaking talk trash, freaking do a cop that's giving somebody a ticket? You don't think I know that? But sometimes it's worth it because that kid probably can't afford that ticket, and that fucking hypocrite did the same thing. If he would have stopped at that stop sign and then gone, but he went through it faster. And to give someone a ticket to do the same exact thing that you did, you're a dipshit. I wish I would have got his car number. I would freaking... Because they get their own cars, They get their own cars and they drive around it for 8 hours. And then it sits for 16. $50,000 vehicles. It's because they all get SUVs. Because they're so important. They're so important. Following the rules and stuff. No, they don't. They just don't get caught. They do what they want. I would love to see a world where all first responders had to be in weight standards. It's for your own good, really. It's because I care. Because healthy people don't hurt people as much. And I think that they should all, police, meditate. Mandatory meditation. Absolutely. Yep. Go sit in a room and get zen before you start your shift. Because if you can control your emotions for an hour, then hopefully you'll have enough sense to be able to hold your trigger in that instance where you come across a kid that's giving you lip and he reminds you of someone that you don't like, and you're going to make an example out of him. I saw that there were a few arrests made yesterday for those freaking scumbag freaking see, and that's the thing is that low vibration is carried on through genes. The dude and his son that caught the young man last month, no consequence. It wasn't for people getting mad, you know. Fever that I can get where I don't have to deal with the bullshit of freaking bureaucrats and freaking people that feel in charge because they feeling small, you know. It's changing. It's the heart space that's changing, and that if I can, that anybody can. Anybody can. Just because people are as they are today, right now, doesn't mean they're not getting knowledge and information every day that can help them raise their own shamanic resonance. Okay, because it's going to happen. And that high vibrational behavior, that love stuff, that's what it is. It's behavior. When you do nice things for people, it makes them feel good. It raises your vibe. It's that high vibe. When you do things to make people feel bad, like, you know, just intentionally because you feel bad and you feel like that there should be more hurt people in the world and hurt people, you know, when if they can just have the restraint to not add that negativity in the world, this world could change so much so fast, faster than it already is, in a positive way. You know, it's gonna happen. I feel like it. I want it to. You know what I mean? Starting to figure it out, and I know it, and I just call it wherever I see it. You know, but I got to be careful about what I say. So when I know, because I just freaking, and I have restraint too. But sometimes I play the tape through, like, Marge, you want to end up in jail? Who's gonna feed mom and the dogs? You know, if you're in jail overnight or whatever. So I really, and they're just doing their jobs. I'm so fucking, I've never been able to stand people that have said that. In it with, it's not my job. In that, where's the spirit in that? So it's hard to find high vibrational beings. It is hard. I have been looking my whole life because people always go back to fear. And they'll just dip back to fear and then do what makes them comfortable to stay in the situation they are just because they're afraid. They're afraid of the possibility that something might be better or worse. What's worse? When I applied for a job, when I got out of the Air Force, there were places that I wouldn't intentionally work for because I didn't like the heart space of the company. One of them was PayPal. Yeah, Elon Musk was a founder. If it looks like a rat, Musk rat, dude looks like a rat. All this stuff tells me, you know, it's all these little Easter eggs that I've told them. I say, hey, if somebody looks like an animal, you know, and then you have the little animals that make you feel good, like the what are those little hedgehogs? You know who looks like a hedgehog to me? And they're just not, they're just cute, and they're just kind of, when they sit on their back with their little bellies. You know who looks like that dude, that it.Artists, and little tells and little things in life that we see that it's like, okay, this is for us, or no, that's not really for me. That's not really for me. I'm really, I have a hard time. I get triggered when I see people that don't have the integrity to act in a way that they expect other people, but then they're punishing people for not acting that way. The hypocrisy in this world is just out of control, and it's only going to get worse, folks. It's only going to get worse. It's because it's, oh God, if people, I wish they just listened to the astrology, man. I wish that they did, but they don't because they're too busy doing what? I wonder what busy people are looking at, chasing sensations and stuff like that. Chasing sensations. Chasing sensations. Yeah, people are gonna be wanting to. People are gonna, because what happens is there's all this energy with the shamanic resonance and stuff, and people are so keyed up and so wound up, and they're getting all this information and data, and they're just like hearing all, and they're getting all these thoughts and hearing all these things, and they don't freaking know what's going on because they just believe their mommy and daddy who always told them, you know, that stuff isn't true and all that stuff, and now they're really finding out. So the level of cognitive dissonance on the planet is going to go through the roof, and people are going to short out, you know, people are going to go crazy, and people are, you know, and then I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but something's going to happen. It's going to be like a poof, and everything's just going to go conk and chill out, and all that is just going to just kind of, people will just, like when people get all twisted up and they get all panicky and erratic and somebody slaps them, you know, well, you don't hit people out of that, you know, like that. But people, man, when they get in shock and stuff, they freaking get crazy, you know, irrational, when people can't, and what shock to me is when they can't accept their reality for what it is. And there's lots of circumstances that, you know, I listened to a talk yesterday. A woman, her grown-up daughter had died before, you know, and losing a parent losing a child as a parent, is my understanding, it puts you in a vibrational frequency of terror, just like I experienced when I was a kid. And that, you know, once your body reaches that vibration of like terror or just, you know, the highest vibrations of fear and things like that, then it's in you. Yeah, then it's in you. You know, once you know what the world really is and all the ugliness, you don't ever get to unforget it. You don't get to forget it. And people don't want to see the world how it is. They don't want to come to terms with it. They don't want to think, you know, all their favorite guys in sports, TV, politics, religion are fucking perverts and just like, you know, like smaller people because they have smaller holes. And yeah, that's the reality of it. That's reality. They're chasing their sensations, and, you know, if an adult, then you have kids, you know, it's a better sensation for them, and that is a freaking sickness that needs to be eradicated from this earth. And people like me, we can stand next to people and feel that sickness. We can. And the thing of it is people know that we can. And then we're sought after and ridiculed and demonetized and, you know, told you got this and you got that and you got that. But, you know, the fact of it is my success rate is pretty right. It's pretty accurate. I'm not 100% because ain't nobody is. But I'm pretty accurate, you know. And when I am wrong, I'm wrong and I'll admit it. That's the part about accountability. Those are the kinds of people that I'm looking for. The people, when they're wrong, they say, I was wrong. Not try and cover it up and backpedal and make up more stories to make it look like you're right and all that. That's wasted energy, and that there ain't no room on my 5D earth for that shit. So don't be surprised if people that you've known your whole entire life, they just start unfriending. Just, who cares? Just be done with them, man. Low vibrational beings, man. They're what got us in the world to get it to the way it was. So you want to keep those low vibrational beings in your life, because if you keep doing what you're going to keep doing, you're going to keep getting what you get. I'm running out of people to cut out. I don't have any people left to cut out. I'm ready to bring people back in. I'm ready to usher people back in, you know. I think I'm about done. I've calmed down now. I've calmed down. I was really hot and heated, and now I've relaxed a little bit. Yeah, I'll take tips from anyone in a higher vibration, too. Oh, yeah, your freaking governor, that Christie guy in New Jersey, man, he'd fucking eat the whole state if he could. And then he could just tell everyone that it's his. Because it's in him, you know? It's all that's mine, mine, mine. It ain't yours, dude. None of this stuff belongs to anybody. None of it. But I was talking to someone last night because she wanted to go walking around the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management. I'm like, start doing the numbers, kids. Start looking at all the numbers. Look how many land management, the forestry department. There's like 12 of them, and they all have like billion-dollar budgets. Yeah, they all do. But there's still forest fires. But if they have that many budgets and that they're using that many resources, then how come they're not hiring all the people? And there should never be forest fires. Every forest should be trimmed based on those numbers, but they allocate things for themselves. Are you getting it yet? Allocating, making up things to serve yourself while the greater whole suffers. Allocating funds. Yeah, when I was at Offutt, we couldn't get like fuel filters, oil filters, parts for the equipment to support the planes to do the missions, the made up missions and all that stuff. We couldn't do that, but they're still spending $1.3 billion on a building for Stratcom. How's that for a pony show? People that waste money, people that have never been poor, just piss away money. So why don't you put some people in positions to come up with numbers that are actual numbers, that are real numbers, that are based on the reality and not projections, because your projection on Earth is projecting an Earth of crap. Yeah. I think I should run for a elected position. I think I should. Okay. Oh, you have government Murphy Mount? I don't know anything about I know the governor in Oregon, Katie Brown, is a fucking idiot. Katie, you're not good at your job. You're not. Your ideas are about 3rd grade level. Yep. And the boys don't want you. They don't claim you. You're a married woman. It's stupid to acknowledge yourself as a bisexual human being when you are in a committed relationship in the eyes of God. But that's more of the hypocrisy among us. Right? Cities and states that buy, fleets of cars and trucks to do the work that, they only drive them like 6 hours a day, because you go in the morning and you get your cup of coffee and you read your paper, and then, okay, you better go check out the truck and, do your little walk around and all that, and then you go out and you work. Oh, it's time for lunch. Okay, that's, and they get paid $25-$30 an hour to do that crap, right? Right? Why can't civilians check out the cars that belong to the city and states and use them in the evening for their errands, because it's their taxes that pay for them? No, they sit in a gated community all locked up, and all the maintenance is taken care of. They don't have, because there's just the motor depot where they don't have to get their own gas and pay for it. They don't got to do nothing, because they just take it to have it serviced. My friend, my pal, a gal and I were talking last night. How about this for a business idea? They used to have places that you could take your car and use tools there as a garage, that you could just go and do the work yourself and use all the tools and stuff you're there. And I think that is a great idea for a business. Only I would do it like a Jiffy Lube and let people come in. Yeah, you got to pay for overhead, so charge like $20 an hour or something like that, But it's a lot easier to drop an engine with and do things when you have the right things. But you have so many people, and they can't, because the mechanics, their egos have gotten so out of control, and they think they're so important that they have to charge, 3 times as much for things that they could charge 3 times as less, because, well, don't you know how important they are? All that shit, man. People are out of control. Numbers are directly congruent to the size of people's ego of how much they charge on stuff. That's why I won't monetize. I won't monetize my videos. I don't care if people don't see me. I won't monetize it, because it takes away from the heart space of the message that I'm trying to give here. So anyway, I'm done rambling. I gotta feed the DOGs their lunch. I'm late. So that's about all I got for now. Hope you thanks for hanging out, guys. It was good to share my vibe with you, and for you guys to share your Debbie and Mel, and Changing Stone. Is good to share the space with you today under the tree, and I appreciate you guys coming out and being helping me letting me be a part of your community, because if it wasn't for you guys, then there would be no community. So um, I, I I appreciate that you guys see something in me that you appreciate in yourself, and that I was, yeah, I was a mechanic. I know I was a mechanic. I don't want to be a mechanic. And even if I were, like, I tell people, hey, you need, like, you got viruses and stuff on your computer and stuff that you can't use your machine anymore. I'll clean it up for you at $40. You know, it'd take me a couple hours to run some scans and go into some registries and tweak some stuff, you know, and get you back to where you want to be. And place, you know, the big business, the big companies, they charge freaking. I remember I was standing waiting for my luggage at an airport in Omaha, so it had been like 7 years ago at least. Last time I flew out of there, six. And a kid was talking about how he took his laptop. I was just over. He was standing next to me. He took it to Best Buy, and it cost like $300 at Best Buy. Well, I know people who work at Best Buy, and they just have a CD that they pop in and then run scans. That's all that they do. They don't do diagnostic. They're just cashiers. They're not trained IT professionals. Maybe they are now, but they weren't there. But they ran a scan and then would charge that much. Like, and people pay for it. You know, people don't realize how much they're getting duped. People don't realize how little things cost. When I went to Walmart today, and all the empty shelves, I mean, it's like TV, electronics, all the stuff made in China. Yeah, you see, and that's America failing. That is America failing America. That is the politicians. Every time, and see, that's how I look at it. Whenever I look at an empty shelf, that is some greedy motherfucker, somebody, somewhere, outsourcing so they can make their products elsewhere so they can make more profit and put more money in their pocket. But if all of these people would have just made these products here in the United States, if they would have just done that, our shelves wouldn't be empty. And there wouldn't, the employment rate wouldn't be 14.5% right now. So, but don't worry, all those jobs will come back. Don't you worry. When has the government ever said anything true? When is the last time? You know, freaking, oh boy, Twinkie dude. He's like, oh, this is the worst disaster. This is worse than Pearl Harbor, because someone else did that to us, right? Pearl Harbor, right? You know, it wasn't unprovoked, folks. I assure you, it wasn't unprovoked. Anyway, but you know. But it's not as bad as Iwo Jima, huh? Because we did that, 4 million. I know that because the plane that was modified to drop the bomb in Hiroshima and kill 4 million innocent lives, human beings, was modified at the gym that I had to work out in at Offutt Air Force Base. Yeah, they put a nice sign up. Here, the Enola Gay was modified. Here, this is where it happened. This is where we ruined the lives of 4 million people. I got to walk past it every day. Remember, this is who you work for, Marge. This is who you work for. Yeah. But I only did 6 years because I didn't have the conscience to work for that evil, gross, corrupt, disgusting, misogynistic, fucking swinging wiener fucking bros club. Maybe they would have been nicer to me and accepted me. I'd have it. Maybe, but then I'd be just another one of them. So it's probably best that it didn't turn out that way. Anyway, I gotta get in and feed the dogs. I hope you all have a rad day. Peace.